Today our writing activity is going to be narrative details. Remember that your personal narratives are first-hand accounts. One of the benefits of first-hand accounts are the interesting and colorful personal and emotional details you can provide. Today, you will work on organizing those details for your personal narrative essay. Number 1, list some types of descriptive details. I want you to remember that last week we talked about the 5 senses. Pause the video for a moment and see if you can remember all 5. Okay, so one of the senses is the sense of sight. So a detail that you can include would be what something looks like. Another one would be the sense of touch. What something feels like to the touch. Another one, hearing or sound. What something sounds like. And then the last 2 we're going to put together. What something smells or tastes like. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 senses. So now, another type of descriptive details is a physical action if you're describing what somebody's doing. Another is a quote of what someone said, which is dialogue. We've worked on that. Dialogue is what someone said. And then the last one, you notice up here that it says what something feels like to the touch. We had to write that up there about what something feels like to the touch, because as you know, there are other types of feelings that you can have, and they can be physically or emotionally. So in here we need to write how someone feels physically or emotionally. Okay. If you did not get all of those down, I would like for you to write them down so you can pause the video and write them down, and then you can come back and watch the rest of the video when you're finished. All right, number 2. On activity page 7.5, you listed the events of your narrative in chronological order. Today, you will add the details that support those events. I'm just going to remind you that those pages that we used from 7.5 were pages 80 and 81. You don't have to write that down. That's just to remind you, because I know you're going to start looking through your papers if you happen to tear these out. All right. So it says, first, fill in the top row with the events that you listed on activity page 7.5. You may revise or combine some events if you wish. So we see the top rows across there where it says event. That's where we're going to write our events down that happened. It says then work column by column, listing the details you could add to each event. Here are details right here, and there are little boxes to put in each one. You do not need to fill in every box in every column. For each event, choose the details and supporting evidence that will best help the reader understand what the event was like and why it was important. Okay, So I have my timeline here, my list of events that happened in chronological order, right here from last week. I did not like the way this ended, and I also thought that I should have added something in the beginning. So as I'm writing the events, let's turn to page 90 and 91. As I'm writing down the events, I can add events if I want to. Okay, and definitely change things. So the very first thing that happened was, see right here, I'm not going to write complete sentences. One fall day in 1982, I was shooting baskets with my dad in our driveway. So what's the event? Shooting baskets. I should probably put with dad. Okay, next event. My next event was I shot too high and the ball got stuck behind the backboard on the roof. Okay. Ball stuck on roof. Okay. Next one. So I asked my dad if I could climb the ladder to get the ball. Let me look at the next one. He actually said yes, but he accidentally put up the ladder up upside down, and we didn't know. Okay, so let me combine these two. I'm going to say that this event, these are the same thing. When I asked my dad and he said yes. If I could get it. And I'm just going to put over here yes to remind myself. So far I was shooting baskets with my dad. The ball got stuck on the roof. I asked my dad if I could get it, and he said yes. This says, as I got to the third of the last rung, the ladder slid off the roof, and I came crashing down. Ladder slid off roof. I'm going to put up here, as I climbed. The ladder slid off the roof. Okay. There was blood everywhere. I couldn't, blood everywhere. My nose was bleeding. I could not move my wrist. Okay. So it slid off the roof. And then the next event that I would write is that I came crashing to the ground. My dad rushed me to the hospital. And then I have on here the last one, about a week later I had to have surgery on my nose. I might add a little more detail about my dad rushing me to the hospital. My dad rushed me to the hospital. And I remember when I was there, I was in the emergency room. And then I might be able to add at the end, I had to have surgery. These are all my events. Okay, because I remember a lot about the emergency room, and I didn't write that in here. All right, so those are my events. Now I'm going to go back, and I'm going to write the details that I can remember about each of these events in my story. So here's the first one. Now, when I wrote this right here, I included one fall day in 1982. I was shooting baskets with my dad on our driveway. Remember when I told you the story, I left out the part about how it had been raining and how our driveway had those little tiny pebbles on it, and the sealant made it very slick. I need to mention that now. Okay, so let's see. My dad and me. I don't know if we had any character traits. We were kind of competitive. We were playing. We were both kind of competitive. I guess I could put happy. I loved playing basketball with my dad. We were actually playing horse, where you try to make more baskets than the other person. You can kind of move around to different places. Physical actions not already listed in the event. Well, all I said was I was shooting baskets. I guess I could say right here, I was winning. I could say I was playing better than my dad. I guess it doesn't really tell you any physical actions, but that's something that happened. Important objects or details about them. Not that I can think of. Other sensory or descriptive details. Well, I would say that it was cool outside. It had just rained. And there was a wet driveway. And I should probably put slippery wet driveway. This was a long time ago. I don't really remember my feelings. I guess that's kind of up here, the happy. I guess I was just kind of excited to be playing basketball. It's one of my favorite things to do. Excited to be with my dad. And I don't remember anything that anybody said. Not yet, anyways. Okay, so I'm not putting anything here, and that's fine. All right, so then the next thing that happened was the ball got stuck on the roof. Okay, we're still having the same thing. Dad, me. Well, the reason that happened is because I shot the ball too high and far. Let's see. Then important objects and details about them. I would just say that I need to probably mention in here that when I shot the ball too high and too far, it rolled behind the backboard, which was attached to the roof. I don't really have any sensory details for right here, or descriptive details. I've got these kind of things right here. How I was feeling. Oh. I felt guilty because I knew that someone had to get the ball. And I knew that my dad would probably have to climb the ladder. I said, "Oh, I'm so sorry, Dad." Okay, then we come over here. All right, I'm going to stop right here. But do you see, I just did these two for you. Do you see how you can just keep going and fill these in? And notice I don't have something filled in every single box. And you just do the very best you can. If you're not sure if you're putting the detail in the right place, that's okay, as long as you are writing details down. All right, and you can go back and watch this video at any time you want to. You can pause it at different places, but this is what I want you to do with your events. They do not have to fill every single box. Notice I left that one blank. I might add some later. All right, go ahead and get to work and let us know if you have any questions.